Social media platforms are changing faster than most marketers can keep up with.
And the biggest updates are not just aesthetic, they impact visibility, engagement, and strategy.
Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn, and YouTube are all quietly testing new features right now that you might not know about.
Today's episode's the 5 biggest social media updates marketers need to know and what they actually mean moving forward.
Yeah, so of course we're used to social media constantly changing. I mean, when I do guest speaking or I do conferences and give presentations, I pretty much have to say, like, I can't give like the final presentation. Like, I can give something in advance, but like I'm gonna probably have to change it or tweak it like the week of, because things are always adjusting.
Yes. I mean, and they'll give like 3 new updates in one adjustment period. So.
Yes, and sometimes they'll quietly do it, or they'll quietly roll out and test something, and sometimes they'll really announce it. So in episode 41, we talked about just Instagram, but in this episode, we're going to hit a couple different platforms because there are, updates in each. So we'll start with Instagram. So right now, Instagram is actually testing captions on every carousel slide, and I'm kind of obsessed with that.
It's almost giving Facebook photo albums.
Yes.
Similar to.
So I don't know if that was your generation, but that was my generation.
That was my generation, like early high school.
So for us, it was huge. We would upload literally albums of events or nights out, or like in college, we did like semesters. And then of the photos, each photo had a caption. And I look back at even like my middle school and high school ones, it would be like, with my bestie at Disney, #Mickey Pretzel. Like, each one, like I had a caption for each thing, and it was kind of fun because it added context, and I could almost see that being fun on like a photo dump. People can be like, this was my favorite drink that I had in Italy, or I got to spend time with my mom on a Sunday. Like, it can really just add to like the mystery of some of these photo dumps, or give people a chance to personalize them.
Especially now, photo dumps are like 20 posts. Like, these are photos from a whole 2-week vacation. Like, so much has happened that we want to share.
Yeah. And even beyond the personal usage, I can see even like event photos or brands who have conferences and experiences. They can talk about what's happening in each photo.
Like guest speaker talking about, etc. Breakout rooms,
Yeah. And name the person being featured. So I actually am very excited about it. And I think, carousels already perform strongly for engagement. A lot of people think reels on Instagram. And the data does show that sometimes engagement or carousels actually perform higher engagement than reels.
Yes.
So I think this also could dramatically impact the SEO of it.
Yeah.
Because if you are adding all of this context and all of these words, everything is now searchable on Instagram. So you're going to be more searchable the more you add.
And with this written text, AI can also grasp this information.
Yes.
So that's why a lot of people are saying Instagram is also silently becoming the new search engine.
Because of GEO. Yeah. So you said obviously it will affect discoverability, but also could affect watch time, because people now, already the algorithm is prioritizing how long people spend on a post.
Yes.
So now they're going to have to spend more time to read all these captions. And then the longer it takes, and the algorithm is going to say, oh, this post is very valuable. People are on it longer. And that's just going to improve performance.
And that's why Instagram is rewarding this, because they want the users to stay on the app. So if you're spending more time reading through these versus watching a 30-second video, obviously the carousel will take more time.
Yes. And it's adding context, and it's really retaining, viewers. People are spending more time. They might want to click through and see the more profile. They might want to learn more about somebody, about something.
They might follow through with the CTA, go, shop. Also there's a lot of tap to shop. So this is all really great that you can include within your carousels.
Yeah. So this leads to more opportunity for keywords and storytelling for sure.
Yes. And I've also seen that headlines are mattering much more for each side of the carousel. So I'm really niching down to like what is withheld or explained within this carousel.
So that'll be exciting to see. You mentioned call to actions. I think if people are seeing something in action and they're seeing something happen, in a carousel or being explained, or they're getting more context, they might feel more compelled to click a link, to book something, to follow. They might be more compelled to do something.
Save or share.
And then I do think it will be great for educational breakdowns, whether it's for, a school, a brand, someone like us, trying to explain a concept.
Yes.
Now you could explain it visually in the photo, and then, with the text so people could read. And people are really leaning into more articles and reading and Reddit and Substack. So I feel like we're leading back to more of the writing aspect.
I know that we love to repurpose blogs and put them into carousel, and especially, I mean, now we're talking about only Instagram, but it's also great for LinkedIn. But I mean, that is just a great tool for us to really, like you said, also make these headlines really powerful.
Brands can definitely do that. I mean, that would be very simple to do.
Yes.
And then you mentioned having really clear headlines and adding context there would be important, and also just optimizing each slide intentionally. So now it might matter to have it in order. Even if it's a personal photo dump, you might want to go from the first of the month to the end and you tell a whole story. Or even if it's a wedding, would you start with the end photo? That might be unique. You could, but you probably would start with the ceremony, then into the reception.
Yes.
And going through the night.
Creating a story of the night and how things unfold depending on what industry you're in for weddings.
Yes. So the key takeaway here is Instagram is continuing to prioritize searchable, information-rich content over aesthetic-only posts. I mean, that's a huge difference from when the platform first was created. But I think I'm excited to see more effort go into some of these posts.
I mean, yeah, it's true. When Instagram started, that's what they said. It was really for photographers to drop these aesthetic and like strong images. So now that we're, even going to a bit more graphic feel, it's interesting to see how people can tie this in.
Definitely. Now, moving on to the next update is Threads. So if you're not on Threads yet, I'm going to tell every listener they should be jumping on Threads because it's one of the most entertaining platforms that I am on currently. I enjoy it personally. Goat Social Media also has an account. Some brands are jumping in on it and they're hilarious. I don't think every brand needs to be on it like yesterday. I think they can take their time or go on it if they feel like they have the bandwidth. But personally, it's become one of my favorites.
Yes.
And I think if you're not on it and not testing it, you're missing out because it could be potentially big
market, obviously.
Right. So I think it's worth seeing. But the new updates for Threads is they added these animated mini stickers, which are very fun, like little GIFs to reactions and to post. There are new posting options. So you can like repost, you can like mark up and add something. There's also like you can do like the invisible text on there.
Yes, I've seen that.
So it makes it a little more engaging.
It's more like communicative, Just like another thing that I've seen on Threads is that like you don't need a like full blown graphics team to thrive on Threads because this is a text only.
It's really like Twitter.
It's just like, if you have strong opinions or humor, go to Threads.
Yes. Also, they're starting to add automatic post splitting for longer thoughts, which I love because it's giving me that old Twitter thread.
Like a thread.
Going like tweet, 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 tweet.
Yes.
And it's fun because people can reply to each one or total. I saw something the other day, something about like women should XYZ, right? And it was something controversial on purpose. And I opened the comments to see like, is the internet going to disappoint me or are they going to impress me? And they definitely impressed me because everyone was like, well, women should not care what you think, or like everyone was going off on him, and it was hilarious. And it turned into all of these different threads.
And then like threads on those threads.
Yes.
But it's just like, the comment section of TikTok will be hilarious. It's like the best part of the post.
Yes. And they're also adding music stickers, which I love. I do really see my day a lot of times within music, within songs. There's always a song in my head. There's like always something there.
Adding music. It's like, I need to think about which song I'm gonna add to my Instagram story right now.
And before that, it was MySpace.
Yes.
Everyone had a profile song. So I think it's nice to kind of have that somewhere to go.
Expression.
And especially because it's a text-heavy platform, it's still going to be text-heavy with the music. It's going to have the song, the title, but like it's embedded in there, so it's kind of fun. And I think, if you're listening to this and you're like, okay, cool, why does that matter? It's because it's evolving from just a Twitter or X alternative, and it's really trying to find its own voice, its own culture. And unfortunately, it is owned by Meta.
Yeah.
So Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp, they're all connected to it.
Yeah. Like you just said, it's finally steering away from like Instagram's Twitter clone, which is like double downing on Threads. But Threads is officially making updates to make it stand on itself.
Yeah. And brands should really notice, like you mentioned, lower production costs, because really it's just you need a good copywriter and they can be on it. Someone like Wendy's or the TSA, they kill it.
They would do slay on Threads.
They do. I mean, they really slay. And you can tell it's not one person because they're constantly on it, constantly replying. So I think, it's something that other brands could look at and see how they're doing it. Text first content is making a comeback. We talked about a lot of like Reddit, Substack. People want to see more words and more creativity. I think in an AI world, people want to get away from the AI slop and see, some brain work.
Especially with copywriting, we can all tell, most of us can tell it's AI generated copy, especially captions. So, you don't have any aesthetic photos or graphics to like pull you out of that hole. It's strictly on your text.
Yeah, and community interaction matters more than polished graphics, especially there. I know the other day I did something on Thread quick. I wrote something along the lines of like, having a big dog will have you hitting 10K steps before lunchtime. And it got so many likes and views and whatever. And because it was relatable, but also it hit a community, a community of big dog parents. And they were like, yes, So it's one of those things of like
also
being relatable, being kind of funny, and people will react.
Also fitness people and everyone's like 10K steps, the bare minimum. Like it's what you need to do. So you hit 2 with that one text.
Yeah. So some opportunities on this platform is live commentary. We talked about that with the Elmo and some of the other brands jumping in on the Super Bowl.
I mean, I love to see that for like the Met, Super Bowl, stuff like that. People, there's, someone wearing a dress and I don't really know who it is. Like someone will break it down. So
the Olympics, we have World Cup. We have a lot of opportunities for brands to kind of jump in, even if they're not sponsoring or being part of an event, to be part of the conversation on Threads. Also thought leadership. Really showing expertise here. I see some people, especially in the marketing world, sharing like updates and tips and showing that they know it and they know their stuff there. It's a great opportunity for, leaders to do that there.
And share their like thought process behind it and just tips.
Yep.
Another one is behind the scenes updates. So while you're in it, a photo of behind the scenes, like what you're learning, what you're doing. Just a bit more of like the process.
Yeah. And even not a
team members.
Even not even like a photo. If you want to just lean into the Threads text only content, you could just be like, at this conference, we learned XYZ. Done.
Breaking out into our breakout room. Done.
Yes. Yeah. So that behind the scenes update, people want it. And then just music and personality driven content is going to start taking shapes as a big opportunity because a lot of people haven't leaned into that yet. So I think people could start to do that.
Find their inner teaching.
Exactly. So this platform really is positioning itself to become more about conversation and personality and definitely not perfection. It's almost like the anti-Instagram, even though it's attached to Instagram. So I'm excited to
differentiating itself. Yeah, which I'm happy for Threads. I feel like for a long time it was just, it's like its sister.
Definitely. Our next update to share is that YouTube Shorts is becoming more immersive. So they're actually testing a clear screen viewing for Shorts. So this means that it's going to allow users to hide buttons and the interface clutter when watching videos. So for me personally, when I'm on YouTube, I cannot stand, if I'm going to watch something, all the videos on the side, all the buttons on the bottom, all the comments, then I see at the top, then I see my logo. It's a lot happening. And a lot of people are starting to even use YouTube more on their TVs. But I think because this clear screen viewing, it's almost mimicking TikTok and Instagram because you can't see anything on TikTok or Instagram but that one video when you're in the Reels or the video interface. So it's trying to, predict that or copy that. But they're also eliminating distractions. So that's going to make it more addictive because people will scroll and scroll and scroll. There's nothing else to look at.
Yeah. I mean, that's just like obviously original YouTube as we know it. When I used to be YouTuber, like YouTube's playing, you can go to the description, you can look at the right, see suggested, you can look at the comments, and you're not really just engaging, interacting with this video, and it's short term. I don't have 30 minutes to look at this. I might just leave or click to next.
Yeah.
So this is great.
And Shorts are already even extended the length on Shorts. They're still tinier than a regular YouTube video, but they already like expanded the length from when it first started. But I think why this matters is because all these platforms, and we tell our clients this all the time, they're like, let's just send traffic to our website. And I'm like, the platforms want people to stay longer.
Yeah.
So you also want to keep them on your profile, your video longer. Don't just send them elsewhere because the platforms are going to rate that post lower. The algorithm is going to say it's a low quality post. They want people to stay. They want to make ad money.
Yeah. And you have to think about like the content you're posting. Like, yes, you want them to stay, but also how in the end are they going to go to your website?
Yes.
So really just strategizing there.
And this pushes more the need for short form video to be more entertaining. And we talk about these strong openings. And when you have just a oh my God, cannot say it, a clean screen viewing. Can't say it. I'll say it again. When you have a clean screen viewing,
There we go.
people will then really either decide, next.
Yes.
Oh, that looks cool, even more, because there's nothing else to distract them.
Yes.
So you really want to capture that attention right away.
And by right away, we mean like the first 1 to 2 seconds.
That's it.
Like you don't have 3 to 5 seconds anymore with this, just 1 to 2. So use it wisely.
Yes. And, I hate to admit it, but short form video is becoming more addictive, more seamless, and more entertainment focused. I watched a great video this morning while getting ready, because sometimes I'll put TikTok on auto scroll, which is kind of fun because it also stops me from scrolling myself.
Yeah.
And I'll just let it be while I'm getting ready or doing things.
It's like
just
your
to see
background music,
Yes.
background.
And I like to, obviously, I work in social media, so I like to know what's going on, what's trending. And there was a great series of this guy his page is Keith New York, and he is an expert in the buildings and the architecture and the old history behind New York City. And he was at a shop that I want to called like old Maid News, something similar to that, where they take these building pieces of like buildings getting renovated, for example, and they have all these lighting fixtures that are going to go in the trash. They take them, salvage them, and sell them. So they're selling really pieces of history and unique items, and instead of throwing stuff out. Even like they had crown molding from a building that you could put in your home as art. I mean, they have really cool pieces. And in this video, he was going around connecting the pieces and like the history behind it. And the two of them were just yapping about it. And while that would seem like, all right, kind of boring or kind of like I'm not sure, the hook got me.
Yeah.
It took the first 1 to 2 seconds. They jumped right into it.
Yes.
And then I kind of got everything explained later. And it was one of those things of like, I didn't expect myself to watch that whole video, but it worked.
Yeah.
So I think people will still listen and watch as long as you're getting people in there and it's still entertaining.
And that's feedback we're always given. I don't need an intro of who you are, what you do, etc. Just go straight into it.
Yes.
And then as you're proceeding to talk, I can also do my own research. I can go in your profile, stay in your profile longer and figure out who you are, or you could tell me once you already have me hooked.
Exactly. So they did that at the end. They talked about where you can find them and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I opened the comments just to see like what are people thinking. And people were like, well, next time I go to New York, you're going to be on my list. Or I didn't know the store existed. I mean, people were so into it.
Yeah.
But if you would have opened on, we're on West 57th Street and yada, yada, it would have been like, next.
It's like so salesy. This created like an educational emotion.
Yeah. And I think, that also leads to that creators need stronger pacing and retention. So sure, you have the hook, but then you got to keep it moving.
Yeah.
And we have some clients where we'll tell them like, why not take that one video and make it 3 videos?
Yes.
Let's not draw this out.
Also, bring me back to your page for part 2, part 3, or this series on every Monday, So this really shows that brands need to consider faster cuts.
Yes.
Subtitles, visual pattern interruption, zooms, transitions, storytelling.
Yeah, there's some of those. Pacing. Exactly. There's some controversy around like Coco Melon and some of those new kids shows because they say the faster cuts and like the visuals and a lot of that is really addicting to kids. Well, I hate to tell people it's addicting to adults too.
Yes.
But if we're in a marketing world and we're trying to cut through the noise, we're going to want to be addicting as well. We're going to want to have to stand out and be part of that. So you can say, right.
It's
you
the
can
whole
say
point.
that. Yes. So you could say that's annoying and yada, yada. But like, if you're going to spend money on marketing, you got to do it right.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen even myself like watching, I'm like, this Coco Melon. I'm like, this is so interesting.
Yes.
Like visually.
And that leads to that, big discussion that the line between entertainment and marketing does keep shrinking. It's what can you learn, but then also like, oh, I just got sold a product I didn't realize. It's going to keep happening.
So brands should focus on movement, visual hooks, like I said, quick cuts, and immediate value deliverable.
Yeah, I can't repeat all of that enough because I think it seems simple, but people just get so caught up in their own content or how they look and how they're going to deliver it. And they forget that those things matter. And the big takeaway there is platforms are optimizing for watch time and immersion, not just clicks.
So we're not focusing, we talked about this before, but focus on vanity metrics.
Yes. Now we're going on to LinkedIn. So whether people like it or not, LinkedIn is quietly becoming AI first. They're using a lot of AI systems to improve feed relevance and content recommendations, and even the algorithm.
So what does that really mean?
That means the platform is prioritizing with AI tools. So AI tools are determining relevance, expertise, quality conversations, and meaningful engagement. So it used to be a very
Network.
like it is still networky, but it used to be almost algorithm free in a sense.
Yes.
Not algorithm, but it felt less forced than Instagram.
Yes.
That's changing. So now that means, the AI is probably and likely analyzing quality of content, dwell time. So dwell time is if someone's stopping and reading, however long they're staying on that, interaction patterns and professional relevance. So even if it's a great post, if it's not scoring to the robots, it's not going to get shown.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, what you're posting on LinkedIn is more about expert discovery more than like networking.
Yes, you want to lead into, and a lot of times people would post too, like, oh, I just got a new position, or I just got this, like I changed companies, or I got certified. Lean more into the story of it.
Yes.
Lean more into the thought leadership, the niche expertise, and the educational. If you got a certification, what did you learn from that?
I've seen great ones of, I'm starting this position, here is what I'll be doing, or here is how I got this position, and, tie into the recruiter.
Yes.
Or the hiring manager. No more of that generic, like, I'm starting position at XYZ.
Yeah.
Like, no one really cares. It's not going to do. No one's going to find it.
And not even the nobody. It's the robots.
Yeah.
Like if they're leaning into AI analyzing your content, now you have to think about that.
Yes.
And that's what no longer works. No engagement bait, no generic motivational Monday style post, and no broad content. It's got to get a little more expertise.
No more just like, CEO life and, really diving into what you know and what you've learned in the process of being a CEO.
Exactly. So what can brands and professionals do? I mean, first thing is they can write more specifically, especially using industry terminology naturally. So that way, like the robots, AI can categorize like, oh, this is marketing. Oh, this is tech. Oh, this is hospitality. It should still read like you're writing for your industry or for your customer or for your network, not just for everyone, because you're not on Facebook and Instagram. You are on LinkedIn.
Yeah. And I know I've seen it myself. Like my LinkedIn is perfectly curated to marketing, social media, and trends, and etc. I don't have too much that's out of the way, and that's because it knows that what's my industry.
Definitely. And I think the big takeaway there is that LinkedIn is moving towards authority-based visibility and not just viral reach, not just, can you believe this email? Can you believe my boss? It's more kind of flexing your muscles there.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to how social media, we've said this so many episodes, but it's part of the latest update, is that it's still becoming more searchable, more contextual, and AI driven, especially the buzz around Claude. I think everyone wants to make sure that they're showing up in these search results on ChatGPT, on Claude, on Google.
On whichever AI they use.
The way they want to be shown.
Yeah. So the common pattern we're seeing is every platform updates points towards the same trend.
Yes. And we've seen that all these platforms want something very similar, which is content that's easy to recognize, easy to categorize,
easy to recommend,
and easy to keep consumers consuming. If they're not sure what it is, it's likely not going to hit your right audience. I don't know. The other day I heard a video from Gary Vee, and he was talking about how, he built millions of followers up, and a lot of creators have. And he basically was like, tough shit. It doesn't even matter if you have millions of followers anymore. Like the follower count really is going away. It matters if your content is, being served to the right people. And that doesn't matter. Like your content, you can have 10 followers, but your content can blow up, and you might still never gain followers from that, but you don't care because the point of the content is to get people to see it, to engage. So it's something that, the AI platforms and the searchable social media, efforts, if they can't sort it, you'll never reach that.
Yeah. And something, even when I do see a lot of followers, it doesn't really mean anything, because I know a lot of times that I don't know how big it is still, but it could be bots. So I know they're trying to erase these bot accounts, but
They recently did a huge purge. People lost like millions of followers.
Yes.
And I was like, ha ha ha. I think I lost 2. And I was like, bye-bye, bots.
Yes, thank you.
The 2, I will take that. But what this really means, and we say this a lot, captions matter, keywords, context, and structure matter. We have some clients or even friends of ours who have social media accounts where we're like, you didn't put enough actually in there. Or like they want to keep something short and simple. And I'm like, add.
They want the minimal aesthetic. And while it may look great, debatable, it's not helping you in this with this new trend and algorithm for social media becoming searchable. How is anyone going to know what they're looking at?
Yeah, if you're a great real estate agent, what market? What's your specialty? What area?
What kind of houses?
Yes. If you sold, a townhouse, who is your buyer? Is she a millennial? Is it a boomer? Like you have to kind of really add all the details so people who are looking for you can find you.
Yes.
And, I think the shift we've talked about, it's not about followers, it's about context. And I think that social is becoming more about search, discovery, recommendation, and entertainment.
Yeah. So platforms no longer rely on who follows you. They rely on understanding your content in a digestible way.
Yeah. And then, we talked about all of this, being readable, easy, understandable, but also don't forget to engage with your community.
Yeah.
So yes, you can have all of this, but also don't forget to also give back to others. So if other people are doing it or your followers or your customers or your clients, also comment.
Yeah.
Also kind of put yourself in those conversations. Don't just me, look at me. I want all the comments. I want all the engagement. Do that too. We do that for a lot of our clients. It's a service we offer. And I think people need to also remember that engagement is part of social media.
Yeah. I mean, it's a community platform. So really just building those relationships and conversations, even if it's in the comment section.
And AI can also read the comments. Yes. So what you're writing can also still come up in search.
I feel like sometimes I get these videos on my For You page and it's not because of the video, but it's just how popular the comment section is, or if someone really like I remember with the Alex versus Alex.
It's still going.
So, if one of the Alexes commented on a video that someone posted, like that is the first comment that shows up when you press. So it's pushing this video to my feed because she commented on the video. Comment.
So if you take nothing else from this episode, know that Instagram is prioritizing searchable carousel content.
Threads is becoming more personality driven.
YouTube wants deeper viewer immersion.
LinkedIn is rewarding expertise and relevance.
And AI is reshaping how content gets discovered across every platform, literally daily.
The brands that win next won't just create content.
They'll really create content that platforms can understand, recommend, and trust.